Alright guys, so this is a simple video to help you guys out in case you're having problems with your homework that I gave you guys for spring break. Okay, I'm only going to do like one problem per each little section, and that should be enough to hopefully help you get the rest done and complete. Right, the first page, it says, this is parallel and perpendicular lines, okay? So this says, use the answer bank below to complete each question. This equation is parallel to. So we're going to start out with this one. Y equals 4x plus 3. Okay, remember that when you're looking at these equations, that the slope is this number right there. That's the slope. The 4 is the slope. And remember, the 3 is where you start. So this 3, I mean, while it's important right now to do these type of problems right here, we're not paying as much attention to this actually as this. So when they're parallel, remember, they have the same exact slope. So the 4 that you see right here, your equation down here must have the same slope of 4. The only one that I see here that has a slope of 4 is this one right there. Y equals 4x plus 2. So I'm going to write that in. Done. I know they're parallel because they have the same slope, but they have different intercepts. This is where you start, remember? You have to start at different numbers in order to be parallel. Otherwise, if they're the same number, they're going to be the same exact line. Now, how do you know when they're perpendicular? Well, remember that the slopes of perpendicular lines are negative reciprocals. So, for example, if I have a slope of an 8, then the one that's perpendicular to it is going to be flipped, remember, flipped, and opposite sign. If, let's just say, what if the slope was I'm just going to do another example. What if the slope was like a negative 3/4? Okay, then the one for perpendicular would have to be flipped and opposite sign, positive. Okay, so look at this one now. The slope of this one is a 4, so it's like saying 4 over 1. So what would it be flipped? Well, flipped would be 1 over 4. And the sign has to be opposite. So if this one's plus, then this sign over here has to be negative. So I'm looking for something that has a negative slope and 1 over 4. So let me see what I have down here. Do I have anything with a negative? Oh, you know what? This is, I think, the one problem that had a mistake, actually. You know what? I'm going to be able to catch it right now. That's a negative right there, right? So this is the one, actually, that should match up with that answer, okay? That should be negative 1/4 x plus 5. I'm going to use that one. Y equals negative 1/4 x plus a 5. Now I know these are perpendicular again because look at the slopes. This one's 4, and this one's 1 over 4. This one's positive, this one's negative. Okay, that's how you know. You should be able to do the others because the others do have the correct answers down here in the box, okay? Let's go down here. Okay, we're going to do one of these together. So really you're just going to do one on your own. But the only difference is that this one says perpendicular. This one says parallel. Okay, so we'll do the parallel one. You're going to have to do the perpendicular one, and I'll show you how to start that one. Okay, so this one says, what is the equation of a line that is parallel to this one, and it goes through that point right there? Okay, well, you're going to want to use this formula right here that I wrote for you. This is a point slope formula. Okay, here's how this one works. Is the other line is parallel to this one, so this one is the slope is 3. So if a line is parallel to this one, what slope is it going to have? And I hope you said it's going to be the same one, Ms. Phillips, because lines have to have the same slope, so it'd be 3. Okay, so now we're going to use this point slope formula, and I don't think I even taught you this actually, so I think I taught you a different way. Okay, so I'm going to show you actually both ways real quick. I'm going to show you the way using this formula here. We'll do it on this side, and I'm going to show you the way that we did it in class. The way that we did it in class was this way. We used this y equals mx plus b, remember that? And to this one we plugged in some numbers. We're going to plug in our slope that we're going to use, which is a 3. And we're going to plug in the x and the y. That's the x, that's a 2, that goes right here. And the y we're going to use, which is a 3. And you're trying to find out what the new b is. Remember? Remember, this is when we were making those new formulas, the new equations? So we're going to try and find out what the b is. B is the intercept. That's 3 times 2 is 6 plus b equals 3. I'm running out of room here. I'm going to do minus 6 minus 6. 3 minus 6 is negative 3 equals b. And so then you take this and you plug it in to your answer to find your answer, and your answer is going to be this. Watch. I'm going to try and squeeze it in here, okay? So here's the answer. Y equals the slope that you're going to use, the 3. 3x minus 3. That's the b. Minus 3. That's the answer. This was the way that I taught you in class. Here's the other way. I didn't teach you guys this formula, but you can use this formula if you want. Okay? And here's how you use it. The little y1 and the little x1, well, that's this up here, right here. And the 3, well, remember, that's the slope that you're going to use because it's parallel. So you plug in the 3 here where the m is. You plug in the 2 right there. And the 3 right there. So I'm going to solve this. Y minus 3 equals, I put the 3 there because that's 3 right there. Put another 3 because that's a slope. 3 parentheses x minus 2. Now I'm going to share my 3. Share my 3. Okay, I'm almost done. I got to solve for y. I need to get rid of this minus 3. Plus 3 plus 3. Y equals 3x minus 3. See how it's the same answer? They both give you the same answer. So you can choose whichever way you want to use. Okay? Same exact way. Now for this one, you need to pause the video so you can see the work again, or rewind it so you can hear it again. Now for this one, it's a little different. We can use the same one if you want, but look, if it's perpendicular, what did I tell you about the slope? Here's the slope of one line. What's going to have to be the slope of the other one if it's perpendicular? I hope you said it. It's opposite sign, which is plus, and it's flipped. So it's 2 over 1, or you can just write 2. So you're going to use this number right here. You can plug it in right there. And you're going to use this right here. This is x1, that's y1. So you're going to plug the x1 right there. I'm just showing you where to put stuff in. You're going to put this one right there. And you're going to solve it same way that I solved this one over here. You got to share and then solve for y. Okay, I'm not going to finish this one. I want you to finish this one on your own. Okay, systems. There's 2 problems here that I solved for you already, so you should be able to do those on your own. We're going to do substitution first. Substitution, remember, is where one of them, you see if one of them is already solved for a variable, like this one is solved for a variable, and then I'm going to plug it into the other one. So this one's already solved, x equals this, and the only thing that's missing are these things, right? X equals 2y minus 3, so I'm going to plug this right there where the x is. Okay, remember doing that? 4 parentheses. Instead of putting x, I'm going to put this. And I rewrite the rest. Now I'm going to share the 4. If there's a number out here, you got to share it. 4 times 2 is 8y. 4 times negative 3, negative 12. Minus 5y equals negative 3. Okay, now I'm going to combine like terms. Combine this 8y with this negative 5y. That's 3y. Minus 12 equals negative 3. Plus 12 plus 12. 3y equals 9. Divide by 3, divide by 3. Y equals 3. Okay, how do you find the x? You take this answer, remember you plug it back in wherever you see a y so you can get the x. So I'm going to use this one up here, okay? I'm going to step 2, and instead of putting a y, I'm going to put my answer, which was a 3. Parentheses, 3 minus 3. X equals, 2 times 3 is 6 minus 3. X equals 3. So this one was also 3. We got lucky here. We did both the same answers here. Y is 3, x is 3. Okay, that's done. That's done. So you're going to do the same thing for these right here. You're going to plug in 1 into the x, distribute if you need to. Sometimes you don't need to distribute. Like for this one, look, this one's solved for y. So you're going to take this right here and put it where the y is. Same thing here. this one's solved for y. So you're going to take this, put it right here where the y is. Okay? That's substitution. We're going to go down now. This is elimination. Remember, that's where you add down or subtract down to cancel one of them. Okay? And sometimes you need to change them too to be able to cancel down, because sometimes they're not ready to be canceled. So I'm going to do this one right here. Let's see. I'm going to draw a line because I'm going to cancel down. What should I do? Should I add down or subtract down? If I add down, I'm going to get 4x here. I don't want 4x. I want to cancel one of these. So I'm going to subtract down. 2x minus 2x, 0. What's negative 3y minus y? That's like a minus 1y. That's going to be negative 3 minus 1. Let's do the do. That's negative 4y equals, what's 14 minus negative 10? 14 minus negative 10. Do the do. Don't change. Opposite, opposite. That's a positive 24. Divide by negative 4. Divide by negative 4. Y equals negative 6. That's one answer. Now you got to take that, remember, and you plug it back in again and get the x. So I'm going to use the bottom one. 2x plus y equals negative 10. I'm going to put my negative 6 right there. 2x minus 6 equals negative 10 plus 6 plus 6. I'm running out of room. Let's see. 2x equals negative 4. Divide by 2. Divide by 2. X equals negative 2. Okay, there's your problem. That one's done. You guys can do the others and solve those. The only thing is, I'll tell you right now, for this last one right here, down here, look, these don't cancel when you add down or subtract down, look. So you got to change one of them, remember? So you can maybe make this 2 right here a 4 by multiplying everything on top by 2, okay? Or you can make this one a 2 right here and subtract down by multiplying this one everything by 2. So it's your choice. Or sometimes, remember, you have to change it. Okay, we did these in your warm-up. This is the next page. This one was done pretty, we did a ton of these actually. I'm going to do one with you. One pipe can fill a tank in 12 minutes. So remember how we did these? T over, and look, I even did a one at the very bottom for you too actually. Plus, another pipe can fill it in 17 minutes. So I'm going to do the time it takes it. And its rate is 17. And how long would it take me to do one job together? So that's why I'm going to use a 1. Okay. Now here's the tricky part. Is we're going to try and cancel out these fractions here. And so I always want to pick a big enough number. Okay. Unfortunately, I'm thinking that 12 and 17, these are kind of weird numbers. I don't know if anything will really work really well for these. So what I'm thinking, what I probably have to do is, I'm probably going to just use a number that's 12 times 17. 12 times 17 ends up being 204. So I'm going to use 204, okay? I'm going to multiply the whole thing, everything, by 204. I should probably do individual ones like that, look. Everything, even this side, by 204, okay? And then here's what we do. Now we're going to say, what's 204? Because I'm going to share this right there. I'm going to share this right there. What's 204 divided by 12? That's 17. T. What's 204 divided by 17? Oh, that's 12. T. Plus equals 1 times 204 is 204. I'm going to add these two together now. They're like terms. What's 17 plus 12? There you go. Last step, divide by 29. Oh, and this is going to give you like a decimal, huh? You know what? Some of these problems do have decimals for answers, so you're going to get decimals sometimes. The answer is going to be T is 7.03. When you divide it, I'm not going to take the time to divide it, but remember, you would do a long division. You could do 204 inside and 29 outside, and then do it that way, right? You get 7 right there, 7 times 29, and you do it the long way. Okay, I'm just going to give you the answer right here because, of course, I have a beautiful calculator right here. Answer is A. That's the closest one, okay? You should be able to do the other ones on your own. Okay, I'm just going to explain this one right here so you can see how it's done. Andy's average driving speed for a 5-hour trip was 30 miles. So look what I did. For 5 hours, he went 30 miles an hour. That's why I wrote it this way. Equals 5 times 30, 150. During the first 4 hours, he drove 20 miles per hour. During the first 4 hours, he drove 20 miles per hour. Equals 80. What was his average speed for the last hour? Well, guess what? This is for all 5 hours. This is for the first 4 hours. So that means all I'm missing is 1 hour. Subtract them. And you're done. Simple. Practice that, okay? Okay, so I'm just going to explain the one that's here already, because you have one done already. So Marcy has a total of 140 dimes. We did a ton of these system ones, okay? Of dimes and quarters. So look what I did first. I'm going to write a system. Dimes plus quarters equals 140. That's what I did. Dimes and quarters equals 140. Now if the total value of coins is 2285, how many quarters does she have? So then the next equation I do is, the dimes are 10 cents, so I'm going to put 0.10, plus the quarters are 25 cents, so I use 25, equals 2285. Now I have the decimals here, so remember you're allowed to move them all twice. So move them twice, move them twice, and move them twice so you can get rid of them, and you end up with that. Now what I want you to do is, we're going to do, you know what I did here? I did substitution. Didn't I? Oh, actually, no, I'm sorry. I did elimination. Elimination is fastest here. I want to find out how many quarters she has. So if I get rid of the D's, I'll be able to find out what the Q is. So to get rid of these D's right here, the 10D and the D, I need to make both of these 10s to cancel them. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to times everything by 10. That's what I did right here. I'm going to share the 10, and share it over here with this one. So when I share it, I get this. Now I can subtract down. Look, this minus this is nothing. This minus this. Actually, real quickly, though, do you see what I did here? I shared, but then when I rewrote it over here, I put the top one right here, I put it underneath. And I put this bottom one here, I put it on top. And the reason I did that is because I wanted the bigger numbers on top, and I wanted the smaller numbers on the bottom, so I can subtract easier, okay? 25 minus 10, that. This minus that. That. Okay? And then you divide, and you get Q equals your answer. Okay? And your answer for this one is C. You guys notice the pages have answers down here. Oh, I'm sorry, I just crossed them off. They're right here. They're there for you so you can check your answers, okay? Okay, real quickly over here. What is the solution for the system? Remember, whenever you have answers like these right here, no solution and many solutions, usually it's one of these answers, okay? So try and see if it's one of those. And to do that, I want you to do is look to see, make sure that they're both solved for y. That's what it says here, solve each of them for y. And when you do, then all you need to do is check to see if they're the same equation. And if they're the same equation, you know that there are many solutions. If they're not the same equation, like let's say it was this. Let's just say it was, I'm trying to think, what if it was y equals negative 3x, oh, hold on, I'm sorry. What if it was y equals negative 3x plus 8? Well, it's the same slope, but different intercepts. What does that mean? What kind of lines are these? These are parallel lines because they have the same slope, but different intercepts. So then these would be no solution. But if they are the exact same equation, like this one and this one are, then that means that they are many solutions, because when you graph them, they're going to be on top of each other, and they're going to be like sharing every single point. Okay? So solve the others for y first, like this one, solve for y, and this one, solve for y, and then see if they're the same exact equation. Okay? This one, same thing. solve for y. Do divide by 2, divide by 2, divide by 2. And then do the same thing on this one. Move the 6 to x first. Divide by 4, divide by 4, divide by 4. Okay? And then see if it's the same equation. Solve them both for y. Okay, I'm not even going to explain this page because you guys should know how to do this page. We did this already. I just gave it to you again for more practice, okay? All the problems up here are x only. Look, they even give you an example here what to do. You guys are experts at this. And down here, these are all x box problems. Remember, do the x, then the box. Okay, how to graph. Do you remember these? First, you want to make sure these are solved for y. None of these are solved for y. So what I did first here, I did minus 5x, minus 5x. Then I got this. I put the x part first. Then I'm going to divide by this negative 2, divide by negative 2, divide by negative 2. And then I simplify. And this is what I got. Remember, this is where you start. That's what I wrote here. And this is your slope. That tells you where to rise, and run side to side. So I'm going to start at negative 5, and then rise 5, run 2. There you go. Do the rest for the other ones, okay? Solve them for y first. Okay, back page, guys. You should know how to do this. Should be pretty easy. Solve each one. So for example, this one I'm going to do negative 54 and the 3. Thinking a 9 and a 6. 9 times 6. 9 and 6. But I need them to be negative. That one has to be negative. So this one right here is going to be x plus 9, x minus 6. Match up your answer over here. Oh, there it is. So there's that one. This is the letter E. One is E, so I'm going to write it over here also. One is E. And over here on one, I'm going to color it in that way. Well, this one, E, happens to be all blank, so I don't have to color in anything here. But let's say if it had been like this one, for example, let's say number 6 was this one, then you would color in this box the same way that this thing is shaded in here, okay? So, or for example, if number 7 was this answer right here, or actually, I'm sorry, it would have to be like this one. If let's say number 10 was this answer, I don't know if it is, then you would color it in that way, like you would shade in the whole thing so it looks just like that box right there. Make sense? I hope it does. Okay, so those would match up like that. I'm not saying these are the answers, but I'm just saying that's what you would do. Okay, that should be enough, guys. Hopefully that's enough to help you guys out, okay?